My sister stole my savings and used them for her wedding. You're just a pathetic man. Your only purpose is to earn for the family, not hoard like a rat, she sneered. My parents just waved it off. Stop whining. You owe us anyway. I stayed silent, but when their debt started crushing them, my phone exploded with 19 missed calls. I still can't believe I'm typing this. My hands are shaking with anger, but I need to get this off my chest. Hey everyone, before we dive in, I have a quick favor to ask. If you enjoy content like this, please hit the subscribe button. It's free, supports the channel, and ensures you never miss out on amazing videos. Alright, let's get started. Quick background, I'm Lorenzo, 32M, and I've been saving money for the past 6 years while living in a modest apartment. My sister Nova, 28F, is getting married next month to some guy she met at a country club where she works as a receptionist. He used to have a decent job in sales, but got laid off 3 months ago. Everything started yesterday morning when I got a notification from my banking app about a large transaction. I nearly spat out my coffee when I saw my savings account balance, $631.42. Just the day before, it had $47,821.06 in it. I immediately called the bank, thinking my account had been hacked. The bank representative told me the transfer was authorized using my credentials. That's when it hit me. Last week, Nova had borrowed my phone to check something on her wedding registry while I was in the shower. She must have seen me unlock my phone before that. I felt sick to my stomach. I drove straight to my parents' house, where Nova's been staying since her fiancé lost his job. The moment I walked in, I knew. Nova was sitting at the kitchen table with Mom and Dad, looking through some fancy wedding catalog. They all had this weird, tense look on their faces. "Where's my money, Nova?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She didn't even look up from her catalog. "We need to talk about your contribution to my wedding." "Contribution? You stole $47,000 from me." That's when she finally looked at me with this contemptuous little smile that made my blood boil. "Don't be so dramatic, Lorenzo. You're my brother. What's yours is mine. Besides, you're just hoarding money like a rat while living in that dumpy apartment. What's the point?" I couldn't believe what I was hearing. That money was for starting my own business I've been saving for 6 years. My father actually had the nerve to chuckle. "A business? Come on, son. You're not cut out for that. Better to keep things in the family. Your sister needs this for her special day." "Are you serious right now? She stole from me." My mother jumped in, her voice dripping with that guilt-tripping tone she's perfected over the years. "Lorenzo, after everything we've done for you, all those years of raising you, putting food on the table, you owe this family. Nova needs a proper wedding. You know her fiancé's family has expectations." I was literally shaking at this point. "I'm calling the police." That's when Nova stood up, knocking her chair over. "You're just a pathetic man. Your only purpose is to earn for the family, not hoard money like a rat. Go ahead, call the police. Tell them your little sister needed help with her wedding. See how that makes you look." "We raised you better than this," my father added, shaking his head. "Stop whining. You can make that money back in a few years." I stood there looking at these people who were supposed to be my family. Nova was back to flipping through her catalog. Mom was stirring her coffee like nothing was wrong. Dad was checking his phone. The absolute casualness of their betrayal was stunning. "I want my money back. Now." My voice was dead calm. Nova rolled her eyes. "It's already paid to vendors. Non-refundable deposits, venue booking, catering. You know how wedding planning works. Should have spoken up sooner if you had a problem with it." I pulled out my phone and started recording. "Say that again. Tell me exactly what you did with my money." "Stop being so dramatic," my mother snapped. "Put that phone away. We're family. We don't record each other." Family doesn't steal from each other either, but here we are. Nova stood up again, getting in my face. "You want to play it that way? Fine. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to walk out that door, go back to your sad little apartment, and keep your mouth shut. Because if you don't, I'll tell everyone about that incident from college. Remember that? How do you think that would look at your job?" I looked her dead in the eye. "Try me." Then I turned and walked out, ignoring their calls and threats. I sat in my car for a good 10 minutes, just processing what happened. Then I made some calls, to my bank, to a lawyer, and to my phone company to check my account activity. I'm writing this from a hotel room because I don't trust them not to show up at my apartment. I've already frozen my credit and changed all my passwords. The lawyer is meeting me tomorrow morning. They think I'm going to roll over and take this because family. They think they know me. They have no idea who I am anymore. I've got screenshots of everything, the bank transfers, the text messages where Nova basically admits what she did, and the video from today. I'm done being the family ATM. Nova's wedding is in 32 days. Let's see how this plays out. Update. First, thank you all for the support on my last post. A lot has happened in the past 48 hours, and honestly, I'm still processing everything. You might want to grab a drink because this is going to be a wild ride. Yesterday morning, I woke up to Nova blowing up my phone. Not with apologies. No, that would be too simple. Instead, she sent me a 3-minute voice message screaming about how I'm destroying her special day because I told her fiancé, Walker, about the stolen money. Yeah, you read that right. I didn't even have to tell him. She did it herself. Apparently, she was bragging to him about how she secured the funds for their dream venue, and when he pressed her for details, she slipped up and mentioned taking it from my account. Walker, who apparently has more sense than my entire family combined, completely lost it. You did what? I could hear him yelling in the background of one of her hysterical voice messages. Nova, that's theft. What the hell were you thinking? The next voice message was her crying about how Walker postponed the wedding and moved out of their apartment. This is all your fault, she shrieked. If you hadn't been such a stingy rat and just given me the money when I asked, none of this would have happened. But wait, it gets better. Mom called me while I was at lunch. Lorenzo, you need to come home right now. We're having a family meeting. Her voice had that fake sweet tone she always uses when she's about to try manipulating me. I told her I wasn't coming unless she acknowledged that Nova stole from me. Oh, honey, she sighed like I was a child throwing a tantrum. Nobody stole anything. Nova just borrowed the money early. You were going to help with her wedding anyway, weren't you? Don't you want your sister to be happy? I lost it. Happy? Happy. She took $47,000 from me. That's not borrowing. That's theft. Don't be so dramatic, Mom snapped. We raised you better than this. Family helps family. Your father and I have already taken out a second mortgage to cover the venue deposit. Nova lost because of your selfishness. The least you can do is make this right. I hung up. Then I blocked her number. Dad showed up at my apartment that evening, red-faced and shouting about respect and family duty. The neighbors definitely got a show as he stood in the parking lot yelling about how I'm tearing this family apart and how I owe them for raising me. I recorded the whole thing on my phone before calling security to escort him out. The real kicker? The venue called Nova today. Turns out the check she wrote them bounced, and they're threatening legal action over the deposit. She tried to pay it with my money, but I've already frozen the account and reported the theft. Now she's facing contract penalty. And guess who she expects to bail her out? I got an email from her this afternoon. You think you're so smart, don't you? Mom and Dad are taking out loans because of you. Walker won't talk to me because of you. My life is falling apart because you're being a petty, selfish bastard. Well, congratulations. You won. Are you happy now? You've ruined everything. I replied with one sentence. Actions have consequences. Then my Aunt Phyllis called, crying about how Nova's just a girl who made a mistake and how I need to be the bigger person. I reminded her that Nova's 28, not 8, and being a woman doesn't give her the right to steal my life savings. But she's your sister, Phyllis wailed. She'll pay you back eventually. With what? What money? I asked. The money she doesn't have from the job she doesn't work at? Silence. Then, you're just bitter because you're alone and Nova found love. I hung up on her too. I'm done. I've already spoken to a lawyer and we're pursuing all legal options to recover my money. I'm moving out of my apartment this weekend. Already found a new place where my family doesn't have the address. Changed all my passwords. Froze my credit and set up new accounts at a different bank. Nova is still posting on Instagram about being betrayed by blood and how karma will get me. The irony would be hilarious if it wasn't so pathetic. Her latest post is a huge rant about how I'm dead to her because I won't fix this mess. The mess she created. The mess she bragged about creating. The mess that's now costing our parents their financial stability because they'd rather enable her theft than admit their precious princess is a thief. Well, They made their choice. I'm making mine. I'll update again if anything significant happens, but right now I'm focusing on protecting myself and my remaining assets. The family that claims I owe them everything has already taken enough. Update 2. I wasn't planning on posting another update, but my phone just blew up with notifications from my family. Guess who's suddenly remembering they have a son? For those who need a refresher, my sister Nova stole my savings, 47 cals, for her wedding. Parents backed her up, saying I owed the family. I moved out, got a lawyer, and managed to recover about 60% of my money through legal action. Nova's fiancé dumped her when he found out about the theft. Yesterday started like any normal Tuesday. I was having my morning coffee, scrolling through Instagram, when I saw my cousin's story. It was a screenshot of a GoFundMe titled, "Help the last name family save their home." My stomach dropped when I saw my parents' picture there. I called my cousin Walker immediately. Turns out my parents are 3 months behind on their mortgage. The loans they took out for Nova's canceled wedding, plus her other debts they've been covering, finally caught up with them. But that's not even the best part. Nova moved back in with them after her breakup. She's been living there rent-free, ordering DoorDash daily, and still hasn't found a job worthy of her qualifications. Her words from her TikTok rants: "My parents have been emptying their retirement accounts to keep up with her lifestyle and the debt payments." While I was still on the phone with Walker, my mom's name popped up on call waiting. I ignored it. Then came the barrage. Mom text, "Lorenzo, please call me. It's important." Dad text, "Son, we need to talk. Family emergency." Nova text, "Wow, real mature ignoring mom's calls. I guess money changed you." Nova text, "You happy now? You got your revenge." I blocked Nova but kept the others unblocked to document everything. Then my mom started calling from different numbers. I finally picked up on the 19th call. The conversation went exactly as you'd expect. Through tears, she explained that they need $32,000 to catch up on everything, or they'll lose the house. The same house where they held family meetings to tell me I was selfish for not sharing with my sister. The same house where Nova screamed that I was a pathetic man who only existed to earn for the family. I stayed silent while Mom talked. She promised they'd pay me back. Heard that before. Said Nova's changed. She hasn't. Reminded me that family is forever. Unfortunately true. Then came the kicker. Your father's blood pressure is through the roof because of this stress. If something happens to him, it'll be because you refuse to help your family. I finally spoke. "Let me get this straight. You want me to give you $32,000 after you defended Nova stealing my $47,000? That was different," Mom screamed. "She needed it for her wedding. You're just being spiteful now." "No, I'm being logical. You chose Nova. Now live with that choice." I hung up. Then my dad called. He wasn't crying. He was angry. Said I was no son of his if I let them lose their home. I reminded him he said the same thing when I took legal action to recover my stolen money. Funny how I'm only his son when they need something. Walker told me they've already asked every relative for help. Most refused. The few who gave them money quickly learned Nova was still spending it on expensive takeout and new clothes. The GoFundMe has raised $240 in days, mostly from Mom's church friends. Nova's been telling everyone I'm hoarding wealth while they suffer. She conveniently forgets to mention the theft, or the fact that I'm still rebuilding my savings. Yesterday, she posted a long Instagram rant about toxic brothers and generational wealth, all while wearing new Lululemon leggings. The best part? I checked the county record, public info. They refinanced the house last year to pay for Nova's dream wedding. They could have had it paid off by now if they hadn't enabled her for years. I won't lie. Part of me feels satisfied, not because they're suffering, but because they're finally facing reality. The sister who could do no wrong brought them to their knees, while the son they took for granted is the only one with stable finances. My aunt, Dad's sister, called me today. Said I should be ashamed for not helping. I asked where her outrage was when Nova stole from me. That's different. She's a girl. Apparently, chromosomes justify theft in my family. I'm not helping them. The money I recovered went into a down payment for my own place. I'm finally building my life after years of their emotional and financial abuse. They made their choice when they backed Nova's theft. Now, they can all enjoy the consequences together. Walker's keeping me updated. Nova's latest tantrum involves screaming at Mom for buying store-brand cereal instead of her favorite organic brand. Real changed person. Life's pretty peaceful without them. My new place is quiet. My bills are paid, and nobody tells me I exist just to fund their lifestyle. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting people face the consequences of their own actions. Final update. First, thank you everyone for the support on my previous posts. A lot has happened in the last 6 months, and I've been waiting to share this update until everything was finalized. Grab some popcorn because karma finally caught up with my sister. Quick recap. My sister Nova stole my life savings, 47Ks, for her wedding. My parents backed her up, saying I owed the family. And everything blew up when her fiancé found out and left her. My parents took out loans to cover her expenses, and I moved out, cutting contact with all of them. Now for the update. Remember how my parents kept saying I was hoarding money like a rat while they were drowning in debt? Well, last month I bought their house at the foreclosure auction. Yes, you read that right. The same house they kicked me out of, saying I was ungrateful for not helping Nova with her wedding. I found out about the foreclosure through my Aunt Phyllis, who's been my only real family through all this. She called to tell me Nova had been bad-mouthing me at a family gathering, claiming I was the reason for their financial troubles. That's when she mentioned the foreclosure notice she saw at their house. The karma train was just getting started. Nova's dream wedding venue sued them for breach of contract. Combined with the loans they took out trying to save face, my parents couldn't keep up with their mortgage payments. They tried reaching out to me dozens of times, leaving voicemails about how family should stick together. I saved every message. I didn't just buy the house. I made sure Nova knew exactly who bought it. I had my real estate agent mention my name specifically during the proceedings. The look on her face when she found out, priceless. She showed up at the house the day before they had to move out, screaming about how I was destroying the family. Remember when you said my only purpose was to earn for the family? I asked her. Well, look who's earning now. She tried to slap me. I caught her wrist and calmly said, touch me and I'll have you arrested for assault. Try me. She knew I meant it. The entitled princess act doesn't work so well when you're facing real consequences. My parents begged me to let them stay, promising they'd make it right. I showed them screenshots of all their messages calling me selfish and ungrateful. Consider this your eviction notice, I said. You have 30 days. The best part? Nova had been living with them since her fiancé left. Now she's renting a room in a shared house, working at the mall. She tried to play the victim on Facebook, posting about how her cruel brother made her parents homeless. I responded by posting screenshots of her original theft, including bank statements and her own texts admitting she took my money. Her friends turned on her fast. Last week, I hosted a housewarming party. I invited the entire extended family, except them. Aunt Phyllis made sure they knew about it. Nova drove by twice during the party, just watching. My cousin Walker recorded her sitting in her car crying. He sent me the video. I watched it once, then deleted it. I didn't need to see her tears to know justice was served. I'm renovating the house now. The first thing I did was clear out their old rooms. Found my childhood piggy bank in the attic, the one Nova broke open when we were kids, stealing my birthday money. Guess some things never change. I dropped it in the trash where it belonged. My parents are living in a small apartment now. Dad tried to guilt trip me one last time, saying I was tearing the family apart. I reminded him how they watched Nova steal my savings and did nothing. The family was torn apart long ago, I said. I'm just making it official. Some might say I'm being cruel. Maybe I am. But after years of being treated like an ATM, watching Nova get away with everything while I was expected to be the bigger person, I finally decided to show them exactly who they created. Nova texted me yesterday. I hope you're happy in that house knowing your family is suffering. I replied, I'm not happy. I'm at peace. There's a difference. Then I blocked her number. The house feels different now. Better. Every room I renovate erases another memory of their entitlement. I'm thinking of starting a garden in the backyard, something I always wanted, but Nova said would ruin her view. To everyone who told me to stand my ground, thank you. Sometimes, The best revenge isn't some elaborate scheme. It's just letting people face the consequences of their actions while you succeed despite them. And to Nova, who I know will probably read this because she stalks my Reddit account, remember when you said I was pathetic for saving money? How's that minimum wage job working out for you?